Welcome back to another episode of the Fourth and a Mile podcast. I'm hosting today Nicholas Elliott alongside good friend JD Zasa and co-host back with another episode. It's
We
our
are back.
episode 2. Last week we did some preview of week 0 games that just wrapped up this past weekend, and then we kind of did a big picture prediction wise for what's ahead for this season. If you guys want to go check out that.
Yep, we gave our national championship, our playoff picks, conference championships, but this week we got that out of the way. We're in week 1. The official start. Well, not really the official start, but the start for most schools.
For everybody else.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
before we get into previewing that, let's go over a little bit of week 0 and what happened there. Let's start with Farmageddon. Iowa State beats Kansas State in a Big 12 matchup, and Iowa State won in a rain game in Ireland. Overall thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it was a sluggish first half because it was raining, but once the rain cleared up, the game really opened up for both teams. And Rocco Beck, man, made some big plays when it mattered. I mean, you could tell early they were a little sluggish. It was hard to throw. Both teams got off to really slow starts. Avery Johnson, and then Iowa State's defense made some big plays, stopping some key fourth and short plays. They stopped 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that's kind of the difference in the game right there. That's what I feel like, because both times, I mean, at least the first time, they were super close to scoring. I think it was off of the first turnover of the game, and they couldn't score. I think they tried a handoff instead of letting Avery Johnson run. And then the second time, Avery Johnson tried running on the outside and was short, which was kind of a weird angle on that play because it kind of looked like he may have gotten it, but then really didn't have a better angle from the other sideline. But
yeah,
I mean,
really the first half was very sluggish. I mean, fumbles on fumbles. I mean, Dylan Edwards fumbled on the ensuing kickoff, and then Iowa State fumbles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just multiple fumbles. At one point, I was talking to one of my good friends during the game. Another one of my good friends. I was like, "Oh, fumble!" It was just one of those first halves, and then it went into halftime at I forgot the actual score at halftime, but it was low scoring, 10. It seemed like a 10-10 3 game. But then the second half, the rain kind of cleared up and you got some more drives going. Iowa State had longer drives. Kansas State had a few big plays at the end. But overall, Iowa State mostly stayed one step ahead of Kansas State when they eventually got the lead. Yeah. And then they made a few really big stops, as you said, on fourth down. And then the big play of the game, 4th and short, and instead of going for the field goal and giving Kansas State a chance to go on and win it, Matt Campbell decides, no, we're going to fake handoff up the gut and throw a little pop pass over to the tight end to end the game. And Iowa State gets out of Ireland with the win and probably, I'd say, I'm not going to say probably because this is the Big 12, but possibly a big moment in the Big 12, especially with tiebreakers going.
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, how we said last week, you predicted Iowa State would make the Big 12 championship. I predicted Kansas State, and the outcome, Iowa State.
Rocco backed.
I mean, funny. So that game at halftime, it was 7-7, and then second half, third quarter, you only had 7 points scored, and then you had 24 combined points scored in the fourth quarter. Funny enough, the past 3 or 4 Ireland games, I saw a stat where the final scores ended right at 45 points.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's week 0.
Yeah.
You're not going to see a lot of high scoring games.
No.
You're not going to see a lot of high scoring. You're going to see a lot of sloppiness. I mean, you'll hear it throughout my previews throughout when we get into week 1, but I'm expecting a lot of sloppiness. And it's normal because it's the first game for a lot of these guys. It's a lot of teams' first chance to hit someone that's not their own teammates.
Yeah. Another game before we get ready for the big time previews. How about Hawaii?
Hawaii,
Beating
yeah.
Stanford over the island, on the island. I mean, Aliahata is just a great story.
Stanford. Stanford's just in a bad place. They're in a
Yeah, I
bad.
mean, you're starting a 6-year quarterback. I mean, doesn't really do much help. I mean, they did a good job. They were really like just chewing up tons of clock. I mean, they played the game right. The game being low scoring kind of played in their favor than Hawaii. I mean, Aliahata at quarterback, I mean, playing through that injury and just showing a lot of heart for the fans. I mean, that's a big win for Timmy Chang and company. And then how about that kicker, Kansei Matsuzawa, something like that?
It's a tough name.
Yeah, he learned how to kick on like YouTube videos and stuff, being from Japan. I mean,
That's impressive. That's an
great
impressive
story.
story.
Yeah,
Because I didn't watch a ton of this game because I went to bed early.
yeah,
I get tired now at 10:30. I'm getting unk status. And then but the game but yeah, I didn't watch a ton of this game. I watched some of the highlights. It was pretty back and forth. Stanford, it's gonna be a long rebuild. Let's
yeah.
just say that. I mean, that's a tough
Well,
one. You gotta win that one, but
what happened in the fourth quarter of that game? So Stanford was like driving, and they were just like running it like every single play, and they tried to get too cute. They did play action pass, and like one of the linebackers like gets to the quarterback, he jumps up in the air and like picks him off right at the line of scrimmage, and that just completely kind of like flipped the game because Hawaii went down and kicked a field goal.
Yeah.
And then Stanford had the ball with like under 2 minutes and 3 and out once they needed to have to actually throw the ball. But yeah, that wraps up week 0. Not much other teams.
I actually want to go over one more thing before we end week 0.
Which one?
This I barely watched because I was at work, but I did have it on in the background. UNLV.
Yes. I was going to.
I know they won. They won 38-31 over Idaho State, but the entire time I was like very thankful that I did not pick UNLV to be my playoff team because that could be rough.
Yeah, Dan Mullen might have ESPN
for Vegas. I still have, again, little spoiler for, not really a spoiler, but I mean, we both had Tulane go as our group of 5 team, and I know a lot of people really like Boise State and UNLV, but especially for UNLV, you might want to look at that one more time. But again, it could be. You never know. UNLV could turn around with Dan Mullen because he's a really good coach, but yikes!
I think it might take a year. I think it might take another year or 2 at least.
That's what.
I
mean, that's what it normally is. It usually takes 3 years. I mean, usually it takes 2-3 years. 2 years if you're in a really good situation or you're a really good coach. 3 is most of the time. Like DeBoer, like for example, Kalen DeBoer. Since we're both good at Alabama, he was at Washington for 2 years. He was at Fresno State for a little bit. He was with a Division III team. It took him usually 2 years. And that's rare.
You want to know who led the UNLV in tackles that day?
Who led the running rebel?
And Georgia player Jake Pope.
Wow, Jake Pope.
Yeah, 10 tackles.
I learned that today at work that Jake Pope is on UNLV. But that's about it for week 0. Again, we had Farmageddon, the highlight, and then if you're a true masochist, then you watch everything. I'm not all there yet because I was tired and I had work. But, if I had my whole Saturday off, then I would absolutely be a masochist.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Let's get into week 1. Now we get into what many of our viewers are actually interested in. Week 1. Do you want to start off with? Do you want to talk about any of the Thursday games, or you want to go straight?
I mean, Thursday really kicks it off. I mean, we got
there's one interesting game I think Thursday, and that's Boise South Florida. Boise State South Florida's Thursday. That's a huge game in the group of 5, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a pretty big game. We'll be kicking off at like 4:30 Central, so it'll be kind of like a right before work rush gets off. Everybody
Yeah.
can
I
listen to
mean,
it.
again, it's in South Florida, correct? Or it's
It
in
is, yeah, yeah, it's in South Florida. So I
Okay.
mean,
It's Eastern time, so
yeah,
for us
5:30.
for us it's Central time. For us in Central time, it's just an hour later for them.
I wonder what. So right now it says 89 degrees. I'm seeing for the kickoff. Like that could play a little
Maybe,
bit difference, maybe.
maybe, but I'm high on South Florida. I think Golish is a really good coach. I
Yeah,
think he's going to get a Power Five job very soon. Well, Power Four
yeah.
job really soon. I think he's a really good coach. I don't
He
know if
hasn't really had like the record yet to like the
I don't know
wins.
if South Florida is there yet to
Yeah,
compete with Boise, but we'll see. I mean, again, it was just one of those games that I just saw and was like, oh, that's big group of five.
yeah. That's a game you could like kind of circle as a maybe an upset. I mean, Boise's entering the game ranked 25th, so it could end up being an upset.
Yeah.
But and then another game, I mean, Nebraska and Cincinnati are playing at Arrowhead for on Thursday night as well. That would be
Okay.
could be an interesting
I
game
didn't know
between
that game
Big
was in
10.
Arrowhead. I knew they were
Yeah,
playing Thursday. I didn't know he's in Arrowhead.
yeah, Big
Let's
10,
get
Big 12.
into the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Let's
Yeah,
start it off with Friday, our little appetizer.
yeah,
This stacked week one.
yeah. Friday we get two pretty marquee games, but we're gonna stick in the SEC and the Big 12. We'll be having Auburn.
Let's go with the first one. Go with
The
the one
first
that.
one,
What's the first one?
first one. I mean, they're both starting at the same time, but how does Coach Prime do after his sons headed to pros? Like you got Georgia Tech coming in after a pretty solid, very solid year under Brent Key, although they did lose in the Birmingham Bowl, but they'll be heading into Boulder to face off against Caden Salter and Prime, Coach Prime.
And it was announced today that Salter is going to be the starter over
Yep.
Junior Lewis. He won that battle, kind of what we all expected, but
Yeah.
still, we'll talk about this one short because we have a lot more to talk about. But
Yeah.
Georgia, I'm high on Georgia Tech this year. I think they're my one team along with my two conference championship picks. Go listen to our previous episode if you would like to hear that. But I'm really high on Georgia Tech this year, and I got them winning this game.
Yeah, me too. I mean, Haynes King is just like what he was at Texas A&M to what he is now at Georgia Tech is
And
just kind of like,
Brent Key, man,
yeah, night and day.
I'm a football coach.
Yeah, I mean, they play perfectly. They play behind their O-line. Like their O-line's like their strong suit of their team because Brent Key, that's his background. And they just play through. They do tons of like play action passing. And I mean, they won't have Eric Singleton because he'll be in the next game we preview. But I mean, this game, I just want to see how Colorado does. I mean,
Yeah.
Caden Salter and Shador are just like two completely different quarterbacks from like just from watching a little bit of Liberty. He's a lot of like more of just like a running quarterback. And
it's an interesting game. I have no idea what to think of Colorado because they're going to be.
I'm kind of just going with the team that I know.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the game. The game that we're going to preview. Our first game we're going to preview. The Auburn Tigers are going on the road to Waco, Texas, to face the Baylor Bears. Shout out to my buddy Garrett. He went to Baylor. So we'll see. I mean, he's kind of whatever on the Bears this year, but again, this is just a random out of conference game that you look on the schedule and go, really? Auburn's going to Waco? Why are they playing them? It's one of those type of games. There's a few of those especially this year, that you're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Could be something. So where do you want to start with this preview? Do you want to start with Baylor or do you want to start with Auburn?
Let's say we can start with Baylor's side.
All right, Baylor side. The name you need to watch out for: Sawyer Robertson.
Yep.
Sawyer Robertson is the quarterback for the Baylor Bears. Really, really, really nice end of last season for Dave Aranda and his team. And this is a game that Aranda could really use to keep his job. Aranda won the Big 12 in 2020, not 20, in 2021.
Yep.
He won the Big 12 in 2021 with the Baylor Bears on a goal line stand against Oklahoma State. But since then, it has been tough. It has been tough. Last year, they were okay. I mean, they went to the Texas Bowl, which is around 7-8 wins usually. They got pummeled by LSU in the Texas Bowl. But overall, Baylor should be decently high on their team because Sawyer Robertson is probably one of, if not the best quarterback coming back in the Big 12.
I think right now Baylor, they're kind of getting like injury bug a little bit. Like I think they're going to be without when they're starting defensive backs, Carl Williams the fourth, and then I remember back in like early August, Pendergrass, the running back, he'll be out for the season. So I mean, Pendergrass is pretty good, pretty solid for them last season, and he had over 1,000 yards like between 2 years. I mean, that's pretty good stuff.
I mean, they do have Alabama transfer Kobe Prentice.
Yeah,
coming in, who probably I'm expecting will play their slot.
Yeah,
will play in the slot, and he could be viable because he's played against Auburn for a few years when he was in Tuscaloosa. But
yeah, Baylor kind of relied on that pass attack offense. So I mean, Baylor,
this game comes down to their defense.
Yep.
It's again, this is one of the reasons why Aranda's kind of on the hot seat. It's his defense that's always been kind of has not been good in a long time. And he came over from the 19 LSU team as a defensive coordinator. So
yeah, he's taking more of that
Baylor
offense.
wants to win this game and kind of put themselves on the Big 12 map. They need at least solid defense.
Yeah, it's kind of funny enough because the reason I put him on the map is the 19 defense. More so, they've been bringing that 19 offense with them.
I mean, that 19 offense was so good. They just needed average defense.
Yeah.
And it was a little above average.
Yeah.
He got the job done for LSU.
And on the other end, we got Hugh Freeze also it's kind of both coaches are in the hot seat heading into this game. Yeah, Hugh Freeze coming on the hot seat. And you got Jackson Arnold, who beats out Deuce Knight and isn't back in the SEC again as he was on Oklahoma last season, where it was not a good year at all for him numbers-wise. I mean, then again, he did not have anybody to throw to.
I get why, because most of his receivers, I was really high on Deion Burks last year for Oklahoma. He went out the entire year. Their offensive line did him no favors. At Auburn, he's going to have all the weapons and everything he needs to be good because they're going to have a good offensive line. Auburn's done really good in the portal and development in building offensive line to this year. And the other thing is their receivers are going to be nasty. They have Cam Coleman, who's one of the best receivers in the nation.
Probably the third best for next season, like next year's draft class behind Ryan.
They're third or fourth. There's one other guy, I think. There's two guys that haven't broke out yet in the mainstream that are going to this year, and we'll talk about the other one in a little bit. And the other one is Eric Singleton for Auburn. Eric Singleton's coming over from Georgia Tech, the top transfer receiver in the cycle, and he decides to commit to Auburn. Auburn's been really building toward this year, especially on their offensive side. Like they kind of knew last year that it could be rough. But this year, Auburn, again, they have to go bowling. They have to go bowling. I would say probably 7-8 wins. I think that's where they really, really want to be.
Yeah.
Anything worse than that, then they really will have conversations. But the two big questions for Auburn are, again, same thing, defense. It's just new. It's just a lot of new faces on defense. And then running back, who replaces Jarquez Hunter? Jarquez Hunter was that offense last year because Payne Thorpe couldn't really get the ball down deep. So they relied a lot on Jarquez Hunter. Who does Auburn decide to replace Jarquez Hunter with? Because a lot of Hugh Freeze offenses rely on the run game a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could see, like, here are some guys you're looking out for in that run game, like Damari.
I'm thinking it's going to be Alston.
Austin, yeah. So I was seeing like Damari Austin. I could see maybe Jeremiah Cobb as well. I mean, look, 29. Austin had 52 carries for 276 yards. I don't think they need like as good of a running game. Like they just need something like complimentary. Like
they just need something because they're gonna have better quarterback play than they did the last 2 years. And Auburn fans know that, and everyone knows that at least they're gonna be better in the passing game this year.
This is like can be like this game right here can just be just a big make or break right here. Just considering all the hype that's around it heading in for Hugh Freeze, all the hype around the receiving room, like you said. I mean, the defense.
Auburn could really use this win to help them because their back end,
teams.
Their schedule at the end of the year is not fun. I mean, they get a lot of their games.
Their schedule is actually pretty easy, I'd say. I think more so the front end is what.
I mean, they get the big two. They get the big two of the SEC before. They get two of the big three.
I think the hardest part of their schedule is September. The middle part of September to the first 2 weeks of October because they had to add Norman for Jackson Arnold playing against his old team again. Then they have to add College Station, and then they host Georgia back to back.
That's not fun.
That's their toughest stretch of the season. Then like back half, you host Missouri, head to Arkansas, host Kentucky, and then head to Vanderbilt. Like Vanderbilt and Missouri and Arkansas. I mean, those three could be like losses right there. Those could be like kind of like coin flip games. Like they could be upset alert games, but like it's kind of favorable I'd say a little bit.
Yeah, I would say Auburn. I would say of the two, Auburn needs this way more.
Yeah,
Baylor can still bounce back, especially in the Big 12.
Yeah, Big 12, anybody can beat
Auburn could really use this because I believe Freeze is way more on a hot seat than Aranda is. Aranda at least won the Big 12.
Yeah.
He's been there. He won the Sugar Bowl. They've been there before. They know what it looks like, and they can make the playoff because the Big 12 is a lot of teams on the same level. Auburn, if they lose week 1, it's going to get loud in Auburn.
Yep. Baylor's schedule is not as easy when it through the first 4 weeks because after the Auburn they had SMU Dallas Metro matchup right there. I mean,
yeah, that's a tough game.
And then they host Samford,
okay,
which will be easy for them. But then they host Arizona State after that. So I mean, 3 of the first 4 games. I mean that can really define your season right there, especially heading in the Big 12. But I mean, I think in this game is going to be pretty like a shootout type of game. I think.
Oh, I think so. I think both teams' strengths is the offense. Their weakness is defense.
What do you think is so? I know this week it's like on Friday night, and I'm pretty sure it's like isn't it week 1 for like Texas high school football? I mean, that's kind of like an odd like.
I don't know if it's week 1 of Texas football.
Yeah.
But it could be. I wouldn't be surprised. But
it's kind of like where are the Baylor fans going to be in Texas?
They'll be in Waco.
Yeah. So funny though.
But right, let's get into week 1, the big one, because it's big noon. But before that, we got to talk about it. Right before the big game at noon.
Yeah.
Lee Corsa's final headgear.
Yeah.
That's going to be That's brutal.
To be emotional for every college football fan. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching game day every Saturday. I'm like a ton of people did. Corso doing the headgear was something that everyone loves. It's gonna be tough. I
yeah,
think it's gonna be tough watching that. I mean, we all knew it probably should have happened last year, but I'm glad he gets at least one more.
yeah. I kind of wish it would have gone to Tallahassee for where he went and everything. It would have been kind of cool just to
Yeah, but I also think this one's okay because of the
the headline.
where I think he probably goes.
Yep.
All right, back on to the fun stuff. Texas Ohio State in Columbus. Rematch of the semi-con bowl last year, the semifinal. Everyone knows the story now. Jack Sawyer picks off, makes Quinn Ewers fumble the ball. Jack Sawyer takes it back. They score in the closest game of Ohio State's run to the national championship. This year, the defending champs get Texas in the horseshoe, but this year Texas has Arch Manning. So get ready for a hype game. This is one of the games like, when have we had 1 versus 2? It's been a while. I don't think we've had it in a long time. But when was the last time we had preseason 1 versus number 3? Technically, it's number 3, but a lot of people will say it's 1 versus 2.
I don't even know. Like, it's kind of hard to like.
It's been a while since we've had a 1 versus 2, even in the regular season, any week.
Yep. All right. I mean,
all right, I'm gonna let you start. I'm gonna let you start this. Let's start. Who do you want to start with? The away team this time or the home team?
we can start with the Texas Longhorns coming in.
All right, you go right ahead.
You got the guy who has waited his turn to be the starting quarterback at Texas. He did not follow his dad's footsteps to Ole Miss or his uncle's footsteps to Tennessee. It's Arch Manning. He went to Texas, the Lone Star State. Will he lead the Texas Longhorns to a national championship that they haven't been to? They haven't appeared since 2009, and they haven't won one in a while. So will he be the guy to do it and then head off to the NFL, hopefully to the Saints? But I think Texas is coming in with a lot more pressure on this game than Ohio State is. Ohio State's kind of coming off the national championship game, and Texas is coming off back-to-back playoff losses in 2 years in a row under Sark. But this was really the year they've all been building up for Texas. I mean, they just keep reloading at defensive line, offensive line. I mean, they lost first rounder on the O-line to the Saints. And then they just keep loading up on receiver. I mean, come on, man. It's a great roster. I mean, it's why they're number 1 in the country right now. And then they're heading into the horseshoe. It's just going to be an interesting game. But, like, this is a game where I could see Texas just dominating just because of, like, better overall players, like better quarterback. And I think Ohio State's just come out of the gate maybe a little sluggish. I mean, I'm not sure. Like, what do you think about Julian Sayin right now? Like, what's kind of your takeaway on him?
Julian Sayin, a lot of unknown.
Yeah.
Same thing with Arch Manning. There's a lot of unknown as well. I mean, we've seen him a little bit, but never seen him in this magnitude. Julian Sayin, he originally was committed to Alabama, but after Saban retired, he decided to go to Ohio State, and he waited his turn. He waited his turn a lot like Arch Manning. Will Howard comes in last year. They win the national championship. Now it's his turn. He was a very highly touted recruit. He was in contention with DJ Lagway for number 1 quarterback in his class. So this guy has the talent, and he's going to have. I mean, he probably has the best receiver in the nation and maybe the best receiver, in the last decade to throw to on the outside on the X position.
Both teams got great receivers to throw to. I mean,
Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate,
Ryan Wingo,
and then just add on with Ohio State receivers. Running back, they're going to be fine. They'll be fine at running back. James Peoples, he's going to be really good. You'll learn his name on Saturday. The big thing with Ohio State is how fast. This isn't going to be a blowout. I don't believe that. It's in Columbus.
Yeah, it'll be. I think a blowout in my terms would be like 2 possessions.
Okay.
Like 14 to 17.
I don't even think that. I think it's going to be a 7-point game, 10-point game.
Yeah.
But Ohio State's big thing is really going to be how fast do they start? And really it's going to be both sides, but way more with Ohio State because of how much they have new. They're another one of those teams like Texas where it's just they reload every year. Yeah. Reload, bang, 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 bang. So, but how fast does it go? Ohio State hasn't had a big game like this early since probably Oregon in Stroud's second game, and they lost that game. This was a long time ago. But the thing I look at on both sides is the defense.
Yep.
I'm worried about Ohio State stopping Arch Manning and Texas's offense. More so Texas's offense because Texas is 3 deep at running back.
Yeah, they get CJ Baxter back.
And they get CJ Baxter back, and they got one more.
Wisner.
I said Wisner.
Yeah.
Wisner, Baxter, and then they have one more really good running back. I can't think of on the top of my head. Receiver, they have a lot. They have some new faces there, but the main standout, the guy who I think is going to be the third receiver off the board in 27, Ryan Wingo. People don't know who Ryan Wingo is yet because you had Matthew Golden last year as Texas. Yep. You're going to know him. He's going to be the Biletnikoff finalist. I would be really surprised if he wasn't. This kid's a monster, just like Cam Coleman, Ryan Williams, and Jeremiah. They're all monsters.
They have a lot of. I mean, Texas is like 2 deep at every position.
But the big thing with both sides is the defense. Like I said, Ohio State has Caleb Downs, who's probably the best returning defensive player in the nation, which is kind of nice for Ohio State. They get the best offensive player and the best defensive player returning. That's pretty nice. But the big thing is the defense. There's a lot. Ohio State lost both their edge rushers, 2 of their defensive linemen, their entire front 7, basically. They do have Noah Igavanosi, one of their starting corners on the outside. Very sorry I pronounced his last name wrong. And that's about it. They got, obviously they'll have guys because it's Ohio State. Texas, on the other hand, has monsters. They have 2 guys that are going to be All-Americans, probably first team. One guy is Anthony Hill.
Yep.
Best linebacker in the nation. The other guy, Michael Taft, in the former walk-on safety last year at the head. Basically, he's a headhunter. He's like a Bray Howard for Alabama fans. Really, really good. But the guy that's going to break out this year and get the All-American things, Colin Simmons on the edge, number 1. Watch out for him. He's from Duncanville. Very highly touted edge rusher. Picked Texas over LSU and Oregon. And last year, he was a big part of their playoff run. He got in later.
9 sacks last year.
He got in later, but this year, he's going to lead that defensive line, and it's going to be disgusting. So that's why I believe Texas has the advantage, at least going in, is that defense, is more so defense. I'm more confident in their defense. I think their offenses are going to look about the same. They'll be
I just want to see how Ohio State replaces, like, when you have Jack Sawyer for 4 straight years and now 4 or 5 straight years, and now he's gone, like, who's going to take that next step as for that linebacking room right there?
And they need edge rushing help because if you let Arch Manning and Sark's offense flow, then you're not stopping it.
I mean, like the Texas offense can literally like run it. They have 3 good backs, and they have like so deep at receiver. They have tons of good freshmen coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm just like Arch doesn't even have to play insane. Like Arch even has wheels. Like Arch has like surprising speed for him.
Win yours.
Yeah,
yours.
just better
Really,
than yours. Yeah,
they'll be fine.
yeah. Like right now, just it's just hard to just.
But I
against
don't
Texas
underestimate the nuts.
Yeah, I mean, what it will help with Texas is they don't have to go in there early. Like it'll be a pretty warm game. Like they won't have to go in there warm.
It'll be big noon, so that
Yeah, be in the 70s. I mean,
Ohio
like
State's kind of used to that now because
yeah.
they're always at noon games. Which
I mean, Texas is probably used to that because they used to have the big noon games as well.
They wanted this game to be at noon, and I don't blame
Yeah.
them. Ohio State wanted this game to go at night, but Texas said no. And it's like, I don't blame Texas. You see what Ohio State did to Tennessee at night? It was a massacre.
Yep. All right. Let's head in to the afternoon slate of this game. Head down to Tallahassee on the Panhandle, Florida State hosting Alabama.
All right. Let's start before we go off on Bama. Let's go Florida State first. Florida State. What is there to say? Last year was
much worse than last year.
It was a disaster last year. Last year, you talk all this hoopta in the off season, and you go 2-10. I mean, it's called the transfer portal. Sometimes you strike gold, sometimes you don't. And last year they didn't. What are they doing this year? Well, they're playing. They're rolling. They're going on the roulette table once again. They brought in a lot of transfers, a lot, like way more.
They brought in a guy at quarterback who pretty much left his team mid-season, and now he is taking the reins at Thomas Castellanos.
That's where we're going to start. We're going to start with Thomas Castellanos from Boston College. He played Florida State last year, diced him up.
Yep.
Diced him up kind of like every other quarterback.
It was the second week of the season.
Yeah, he diced him up. And so now he's with Florida State. Receiver-wise, they have Deuce Robinson from USC and
Squirrel White
from Tennessee. That's right. The speeds. Yeah. At running back, they've got a face.
Roydell Williams.
They got an old Alabama player, Roydell Williams, who was there last year. It's going to be their starting running back this year. Offensive line, they got a few transfers there. Defense is their big question mark because they lost a lot of really, really good players on the edge, especially Patrick Payton. Patrick Payton transferred to LSU. He's going to be a big impact in the night game that we'll talk about a little later.
Especially with Florida State, they've had really good edge rushing the past couple years too.
And Patrick Payton was going to be the next guy, but he decided, nope, I'm not dealing with this. I'm going to LSU.
Yeah.
And honestly, do you blame him?
No.
And do you blame him after 2-10? But the big thing with Florida State is, do they strike gold again with these portals, or it doesn't look? Because they struck gold with Keon Coleman, Jordan Travis, and everyone. Then they sucked. Then they sucked last year, and now what do you get? Probably right down the middle. Some good, some bad. But who knows? They've also got 2 new defense. They've also got new coordinators. They got Gus Malzahn from UC. He decided to just leave UCF and was like, I just want to coach offense. Don't blame him. And then they got Nebraska's old defensive coordinator. His name escapes me, but he's really good. Norvell, you really need to be good. Like at least 7, 8. I have no idea what they'll want Norvell to do for Florida State to keep his job. But right now, just for this game, I'm just going to say it's going to be tough. But the good news is you get Alabama in Tallahassee, and it could be a rain game, which could benefit Florida State or couldn't. I have no idea what kind of offense. Are they going to be – is Castellanos going to really put his back on his offense, or are they actually going to run the football? I have no clue what Florida State's going to be. I mean, really quick, what do you think of Florida State?
Uh,
I mean, no one knows.
yeah, I'm
Because
kind of.
no one's allowed in their media practice. No one knows.
I'm just
Even people
interested
in
to see how they
Tallahassee.
come out.
I have friends in Tallahassee that go to Florida State. They have no idea what the heck their team's going to look like. They're like,
Yeah,
your guess is as good as mine.
I mean they do have. I mean, I'm looking at their roster. I forgot that they have Antonio Cromartie's son on it, and then they have Earl Little is starting at DB for
Oh
them.
yeah,
Did you see that?
another
Yeah,
former Alabama player.
I wonder who he'll be matched up with on which receiver.
You want to get into them? You want to get into the other team now?
Yeah, I mean the last thing on Florida State. I mean, like I don't know. Like Mike Norvell, like he had that really good season. It was taking like they lost and got blown out in the Orange Bowl. It's like I don't know what the expectations are. And
What kind of culture?
yeah,
Again, no one knows like two things that Mike Norvell's in year 3 or year 4 at this point.
I'm trying to think. I think it's year 4, year 3 or 4. Yeah, it's 1 to 2. Year 4.
I think it's year 4
This
or
is
5.
year 4. Yep.
The thing I said about earlier is like it usually takes 3 years. In 3 years, usually things should happen. 1, you have all Norvell's players in, and 2, you have a culture. You have an exact idea of what your offense is going to look like. Auburn, you know exactly what their offense is going to look like. A lot of runs, a lot of pass, a lot of play action. That's just how Hugh Freeze plays. Look at Ole Miss when he was there.
Yeah.
Around there's multiple teams.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
State, what are they going to be? What's their culture identity?
I think they're going to rely on the trying because Gus is always in his scheme has always kind of relied on the run game. So it's Roy Dell is going to have to really start to flash in being his last year in college eligibility. He really like him and whoever that second back is. I'm just going to have to because they had Harvey at UCF who was really good as a running back, but I don't know. I'm just worried. It's just like they play
a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, and then they have to play like their schedule is. I mean, you got Clemson and Miami as your notable games. Then you also have Florida to end the season, which
yeah,
I mean, the whole state of Florida itself, besides Mario Cristobal, is like on hot seat where I mean, it's kind of crazy times we're living in a state of Florida, just not being as good. I mean, but Miami's on the rise. I mean, South. But on the Alabama side, I mean, you got Ty Simpson waiting his turn. He's the guy. Year 2 of Kalen DeBoer. You got the biggest addition, in my opinion, is the addition of Ryan Grubb as the offensive coordinator, which could really
that's bigger than any transfer Alabama got. Or
I mean, it's just going to be he's the only coach in the booth along with a lot of analysts or whatever, which will be it's not really going to change. It's not going to change anything.
Booth like Sheridan, the QB coach, everyone's going to be on the floor.
Yeah,
on the floor. But the big thing this year for Alabama is something that really, in this era, is rare. They had pretty much everyone return.
Yep.
And there were a few people that left for the draft, like Lawson. Wait, no, not Lawson. Jahad Campbell.
Yeah, Jahad Campbell, Tyler Booker.
Yeah, you had a few.
More.
Overall, most everyone stayed, and they could have gotten a lot more money elsewhere. Alabama's not deep in NIL, but they have NIL. And what they did was use most of their NIL money to keep everyone around for this year. And like I said earlier, Cam DeBoer, in his previous steps, it took him 2 years to kind of get things rolling. And Alabama, you got everything you need. You're going to be deep at running back, even though Jam Miller's out until Georgia. You got Richard Young. You got Daniel Hill. You got Dre Washington. 3 guys that played meaningful football. Receiver, probably one of the best maybe one of the best in the nation. Not
Yeah.
with corner Ryan Williams today, 9 deep.
Yeah, you've been around this team at practice and in like media previews and like the players, you've been interviewing them. Like, what's kind of like I don't know, like what's the mindset around the team right now? Like, what do you think?
They know what it was last year. Disappointment. Even though it was 9 wins. They got 9 wins. Like most teams, like Auburn, like they just go like 9 wins. We'll take that every day of the week. That's not Alabama's standard. The big thing, though, the big word I say is cohesiveness. Cohesiveness is huge. Just really on the defensive side, just having Womack, just everyone being around there for a whole year. Because last year, DeBoer and everyone arrived a little later than most teams. Because DeBoer arrived in January during a portal season. Womack arrived late. Everyone arrived late, so you didn't get as much cohesiveness in the offseason. You got a little bit. I mean, they weren't bad. I'm not saying they were bad last year, but it wasn't what everyone expected. This year, you got a full year of DeBoer saying, all right, we tried your way. It didn't work. Now we're doing it my way. I brought in Grubb. We're stacked a receiver. Everyone stayed. I think that's a big thing to the culture of Alabama, and DeBoer is like he kept everyone. I mean, at safety, they got Keon Sabb and Bray Hubbard. They're going to be fine. Defensive backroom, probably the best in the nation. They have 3 guys from Southern California that are going to be all superstars. Domani Jackson, who was great last year. Xavier Brown, who played a lot of football last year. And then there's a kid that a lot of people don't know, but they're going to learn quick. His name is Dejon Lee. He's the 5-star cornerback, top cornerback in this last cycle. You're going to learn him well because he's going to get a lot of playing time. Yeah. And even besides that, they're deep there. The 2 big things with Alabama are defensive line. Their linebackers are going to be okay. They got Russaw, they got Lawson, they got Jefferson. It's really, what does the defensive line look like and who gets the pressure on the quarterback? I think that's a big thing. And the second is Ty Simpson. Just all Alabama needs from him is just to be consistent. Milroe, you got games like the LSU game where he looks like a Heisman contender. And then you also get the Oklahoma game where he looks like a quarterback who has no chemistry with his receivers.
Yep.
But I would say overall, the vibe around Alabama, from what I've covered, consistency. Cohesiveness is what I meant to say. And I think I think you saw that last year and how that benefited Ohio State. And you're going to see that a lot with Clemson this year. I think I'm high on Clemson and Alabama because they have guys they didn't really portal. They just filled gaps and it just filled the little gaps, and most of their guys are in the system, has been around the program, played football before.
Yeah.
And that's why I have Clemson and Alabama both in my playoff.
Yeah, and then you got the rain. It's expected to be Florida weather. You know, Florida weather in the summer. It's always afternoon.
They'll expect anything. They'll learn. They'll prepare for anything. But again, we could all say like, oh, it's gonna rain, but it's gonna be brightest day.
Yeah, it's Florida weather. You know, it could rain any
I hope because I'm gonna be working the game. So yeah, I'm really hoping for rain, please. No, not rain. Hoping for sun.
And then you got. I mean, I think the biggest thing with Alabama really is like, what's the offensive line? What's it going to look like without Tyler Booker? And then you got Ty Simpson. I mean, I think the biggest thing with him is just don't turn the ball over. I mean,
that's the thing, consistency.
Like I was watching his presser today, and then he said, like Saban told him, like as if you're punting, you're kicking a PAT or kicking off. That's, I mean, that's a win. Like, it's a win. Like, just move on. Don't let other things like affect you. It's like you just need to play turnover free. Like, you can't just give away passes, and you really gotta stick to your strong suit right now without Jam Miller is like passing game, and you can run like any passes. You can short, intermediate, long. I mean, you got Ryan Williams, you got Jeremy Bernard. I mean, Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams are like two of the best pass catchers in the country. And then you got Isaiah Horton from Miami, who is in an explosive offense with Cam Ward. I mean, you got three guys right there. Then you have other guys who can step up and fill.
Jalen Hale's returning. Yeah. Atsir Brooks, they've been really high on in camp.
Yep. Rico Scott. I mean, you got like, I mean, it is like 9 deep when you like really like name everybody, like Ryan Williams said earlier. I mean, that's why I really like, if you can just play turnover, just play game manager. Like, you don't have to force things that force little pockets. I mean, with Ty, he's got some like good athleticism for quarterback as well. So, I mean, he's proven that he can get out and run. So, I mean, I'm not really worried about the offense this year. I mean, it's like a pretty like consistent team. Like, both offense and defense are like,
the year. It feels like the year for Alabama.
Yeah,
it kind of does after a few years where it's just like, kind of underachieved the year standards. It feels like the year, and we'll see how they look against Florida State this Saturday. Again, I think it's going to be sloppy, but we'll see.
Yep.
All right, let's get into Clemson LSU really quick, and then we gotta do predictions because we gotta get out of here. I mean, we can talk quick about the other game when the other game we were just wanted to do. All right, let's do it. Clemson LSU. Let's get this stuff. Let's do Clemson LSU pretty quick.
Yeah.
So we can do this. Clemson LSU. Where do you want to start with this? Well, I'll let you start this one.
Clemson. Start with Clemson. Well, first, will Brian Kelly get the monkey off his back? The monkey off his back is that he can't win a season opener. He has not won a season opener at LSU yet.
LSU hasn't won a season opener since the 2019 year.
Yep. And it's been after every week one game, you usually get all the phones calling up ESPN Baton Rouge, like, what the heck's happening? Are we done? And then they go on a big run. This year, they got to start foot on the gas quick. But on the other Tigers, Clemson, this is the year they've been building for. Last year it wasn't their best team, but they made the playoffs.
In like 3 years. Like, they think this team is going to be like Trevor Lawrence Clemson good.
Yep, you got Cade Klubnik entering his last year. You got Peter Woods entering his junior year, probably, and he's going to the NFL next year. And then you got, I mean, they're much more balanced all over.
Parker's. They got 3 guys who could easily be top 5 picks. They finally got a receiving room. That's kind of like what they was. They got Antonio Williams, who was really good, Brian Westcott Jr. 2 guys that are going to be really big for Clemson. Again, it's just a lot like Alabama. A lot of their guys decided to stay put, even though they probably could have made more money elsewhere or gone to the NFL draft.
Exactly. And it's just going to be interesting what the environment is going to be like, because usually people don't – which Death Valley is it going to be?
I mean, we're getting –
Clemson Death Valley this time. It's not going to be like LSU at night, but all the LSU fans will be traveling heavily for that game. And, I mean, Tiger at night, I mean, it's a primetime game. I'm just really interested to see how – I think the big thing is how LSU can control the line of scrimmage on that offensive line. Like, losing Will Campbell and some other guys, their offensive line was very poor their run game was very poor last year, and they're going to come against one of the best defensive lines in the country. And they need to kind of –
LSU. I'll talk LSU.
Yeah.
You keep going on Clemson.
And you got Klubnik. I mean, this is really the year for Dabo. Like, we both have them going far in the playoffs. It's just what will happen. Like, usually, like, the past couple of years in these big games, they've folded like a lawn chair. They've not been able to get the big win when it matters.
Yeah.
And I just think for them, it's just you just got to contain Nuss. I mean, you got to win the line of scrimmage. I continue to win it because LSU. I mean, they're a lot weaker on the offensive line. I mean, your defensive line can really get to Nussmeier, who did have a little bit of injury before the season. So I mean, it's kind of worried if you're LSU coming into this game, coming into Clemson. But like, I think LSU might be due to win one of these like opener games. Like
They should be.
Yeah.
So I know a lot about LSU this year because I went to media days, and this was one of the teams I was given to cover at my job. So LSU, let's go. What would you rather? What do you want me to start on? Positives or negatives?
Let's get the negatives out of the way for the Tigers.
Negative. All right, let's do it. One, their defense is full of transfers. They got a lot of transfers. Not as much as Florida State, but a lot. Again, they're trying to
be a negative.
They're trying to get back.
Positive.
They're trying to get back. They're trying to get back to what they were a few years ago. Not Jane Daniels back because that was putrid. So they brought in last year. They brought in the Blake Baker, the Missouri defensive coordinator. They got the right guys in the room. That's huge. The issue is how fast does it get better? Last year it was not great, but it wasn't terrible. This year they're relying on a lot of transfers, especially in the safeties. They got 2 transfers there that are projected to start. One guy that I would watch out for on the defensive side is obviously Harold Perkins. He's back after tearing his ACL. Patrick Payton. We talked about him earlier. He transferred from Florida State and decided to go to LSU. This guy is the next guy, like the next edge rusher for LSU. This kid is good. He was really good in 23 when Florida State had their run. And LSU is going to reap the benefits. Negatives. Offensive line. It's going to be a problem because everyone besides DJ Chester, their center, is new on the offensive line. They didn't just lose Will Campbell. They lost both their tackles, Emory Jones, who went early, and both their guards. They have one returning player from last year's offensive line, DJ Chester. That's all new. Either young guys or transfers. And especially going up against Clemson with 2 guys that are probably going to go in the top 5, that could be rough. Really rough. And really besides that, that's all the negatives. Yes. Now we get into what's really good about LSU. Garrett Nussmeier, probably the best quarterback returning the SEC. He was a gunslinger last year. He's going to be a gunslinger this year. He's going to be even better this year, especially when I get into the receivers in 1 second. Running back, they got Caden Durham. Caden Durham, another really, really good running back. Really good last year. They're going to try to use him a lot more because LSU got later in the year, especially like against Alabama. The game
they had no run game at all in that game.
They abandoned the run game in the rain, which made no sense. And it showed in the scoreboard. Alabama just played zone coverage, played dropping and said, beat us underneath, and they couldn't. This year, LSU should be able to run the football way more with Caden Durham returning. Now we get into the fun part. Nick, quick question for you. Who do you consider wide receiver you? Who are the teams that you consider wide receiver you?
LSU, Ohio State, Bama.
You're exactly right. And this year it's going to be no different because these are probably going to be the 3 best receiving corps in the entire league. LSU is deep at receiver as well. Let's start with the transfers. You got Nick Anderson coming from Oklahoma. Tall receiver, kind of like Alabama's Isaiah Horton. A little faster, but a little shorter. He's 6'4", though. So he's going to be a great target for balls that Garrett Nussmeier maybe puts a little more air on. And then next, you got Berrien Brown from Kentucky. You don't know who he is? You get ready. He was the top returner. He was the top returner last year in the country. He is a special teams weapon, fast, insanely fast. If you play college football 26, he's a guy with 99 speed. Just Yeah, you know where that's coming from. And then finally, their ace, their slot receiver, Aaron Anderson, transferred from Alabama at LSU for his third year with the program. He's going to be an NFL. He's going to be the next guy in the NFL. He's going to the NFL next year. But dang it, this guy's good. He made a ton of incredible catches last year, and he's going to take the reins. He's going to take the reins this year for wide receiver one after Kyron Lacey declared for the draft and then sadly passed away.
Yep.
And then they've also got guys behind him. Xavier Thomas Jr. Going to be really good. LSU should be loaded at wide receiver. That's by far their best position group.
Yep.
That's my take on LSU.
You got to replace Mason Taylor, who went to the league. I mean, you got Trey'Dez Green, though. I mean, you saw him on the basketball court.
They're going to be fun.
Basketballs. And
the big thing with LSU, though, Brian Kelly. Can they finally get off? If they win this game, it will get a lot of pressure off Brian Kelly, especially early on.
Yeah,
they play Florida later in the year, but
no, they play Florida the third game.
Yeah, I said early on.
But
again, LSU, if they could start 1-0 for the first time since 2019, that's huge.
A big monkey off the back right there.
Especially beat Clemson, who 90% of the country thinks is going to win the ACC. Yeah, you're okay if you're LSU.
Yeah, and LSU really LSU's schedule this year. I mean, you got Florida, like you said. You got to go to Oxford this year and Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. They get A&M.
They get be interesting in Oxford because you got Ole Miss coming off that bad taste after this was supposed to be their year last year for Ole Miss, and then LSU silences them in overtime. Then you got to host South Carolina. At least you host South Carolina. You host A&M.
But still,
Alabama.
It's a tough ACC schedule.
Yeah.
And there's obviously some games we forgot. Like, again, if we had time, Notre Dame, Miami, we'd go over. Another one, Syracuse, Tennessee, and Atlanta. That could be interesting. And then Monday, we get TCU, North Carolina. Again, this is a stacked week. Next week, week 2, well, we're going to have way more time to talk about some of these big games. But this week, there's so many.
Yep. I mean, I guess we can get to Notre Dame, Miami real quick.
I'd say we get into predictions. We're kind of a little over.
All righty.
I mean, we can talk. I say we talk about Notre Dame, Miami a little bit when we actually get to them in predictions.
All right. We start our picks with Auburn at Baylor.
Auburn. I got Auburn. They have way more talent than Baylor. And again, I'm hoping Baylor wins because I go to Bama. But I got Auburn. I got the Weagles starting 1-0.
Give me Sawyer Robertson's going to let everybody know he's probably one of the best Big 12 quarterbacks in the league.
All right,
if Baylor wins, it's going to be a shootout. I think if Auburn wins,
that's going to be massive for their Big 12.
If Auburn wants to win this game, I feel like they need to neutralize that Baylor offense and kind of.
Yeah, and I have no idea who's going to be the guy there for Auburn. So, again, could see it. Wouldn't be surprised.
All right. The biggest game of the day, big noon.
I'll let you go first on this one. Texas Ohio State. Who you got?
Hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em horns?
Who do you got?
Right. They got the monkey off their back last year.
All right.
I'm going with the Ohio State. Technically, I have no idea who's favored, but I mean it's a pick.
Ohio State is favored.
I'm going with the power of the horseshoe, and they got the two best defense. They get the two best players coming back in college football.
Here's our interesting pick. Do you think Alabama wins by 2 touchdowns, or does Florida State keep it closer than 2 touchdowns?
we obviously both think Bama's going to win. They win by 2 plus touchdowns. They win by 2 touchdowns. I think exactly 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Florida State will give fits. Florida State will give them fits. I do not think this is going to be a blowout.
I think it's going to be a very.
If this game's a blowout, then Alabama's really, really good. Way better than I even think they're going to be. But I think they win by 2 touchdowns. It's going to be sloppy early.
Yeah. I think like a late touchdown.
I'm guessing tied. I'm guessing it could be tied by half, and then Alabama rolls.
All right, Tiger at Death Valley.
This one, I'm not going with the upset pick. I got Clemson. I think Clemson's way more experienced. The only way LSU wins this game is if they give Nuss enough time to pass. If they get Nuss enough time to pass, then LSU wins this game. LSU wins the receiving game. If this is a shootout, LSU wins by far. But what I think is going to happen is it's going to be like a 28-20 game, and I got Clemson.
Yeah.
And that's Clemson's game.
I really want to take LSU to get the monkey off the back, but, this is the Clemson year that we're going to see old Clemson go back. Give me the Temu Death Valley, Clemson Tigers.
Temu Death Valley. Interesting.
All right. Sunday game. Virginia Tech versus South Carolina at a neutral site.
Is that not Atlanta? Is that not Atlanta?
I think it might be in Charlotte. Pretty sure it's in Charlotte. They always do a game in Charlotte.
Yeah, the two, but same way. Where is it? It's not anywhere, but
Cox.
South Carolina.
All right. We got Notre Dame with the new quarterback, Carr, coming in, facing off against former Georgia quarterback, Carson Beck.
Two teams that
Sunday night football.
Teams that have a lot of new coming back. But I'm going with this team. I'm going with this team because I trust their defense way more. They have the pieces on this defense. It just didn't come through last year. I think it comes through this year.
I agree. I just think the unknown at quarterback.
I think Carson Beck. I think that offense is going to shine. Even without Cam Ward, I think Shane Dawson is one of the best offensive coordinators in college football.
I think Carson Beck also has a bounce back season after last year did not go his way at all.
And plus it helps that it's in Miami. So I got Miami.
Hey, I also said Notre Dame would miss the playoffs in mine. So
I have Notre Dame make the playoffs. I think they win I think they go 1-1 in these games where they play Texas A&M and Miami. I think they go 1-1.
Yep. All right. College edition. Horned Frog. Tar Heels. Bill Belichick, first game.
Don't believe him. Don't believe in them. Josh Hoover. Josh Hoover's going to dice them up.
I agree.
Josh Hoover and TCU's going to dice them up, I think.
Yeah, and they're coming off a pretty bad season in TCU, especially having that national championship appearance 3 years ago. This is kind of
again, North Carolina could very well be the clown of the year. Yeah, it
could be clown of the year.
Very well could be. I hope for their sake it doesn't happen, but
it's like how college sports and pro sports don't work, like head coaching wise. Like in college basketball, your pro coaches did not mesh so well in college, and now you got one of the best coaches of all time coming in.
I think it could work with Belichick. Yeah. I just don't think it's going to be early. It could work.
Like former Jaguar at quarterback, former South Alabama Jaguar quarterback.
But again, I got TCU. I think this is the year where Sonny Dykes could come out and want to win the Big 12 yet again.
Yeah. All right. We got football coming up, guys, and it's a 4-day weekend. Get your popcorn ready.
Everyone enjoy your 4-day weekend. Enjoy it. We're going to enjoy it here as college kids because school's starting up for both of us and work's going. I'll be in Tallahassee for the game. I'll be in Tallahassee working the game. So I will. Maybe next time I'll show pictures of what I get where I am. We'll see.
All right, that'll wrap up another episode of the 4th End of Mile podcast. Hope you guys enjoy.
Later, guys.